right. Yeah, but anyway, like I was saying, fired up because I'm looking at watching Group Me and just everything that's going on back and forth there. Just, a lot of people just really stepping up and taking on 2020 and planting a flag and making it this year. And I'm seeing it in the interactions back and forth on leaderboard, and we're starting to see it in the numbers too. So hats off to everybody who is really stepping up. So let's take a look at what we had this week. We had Stella Dinwiddie, one application, $1,391, direct to myself. We had Donna Turner. Welcome back, Donna. Had one application, $2,203, direct to Jeremiah Nolan. We had Brett Applin, 3 applications, $2,874, direct to John Paul Venner. We had Lionel Anderson, 1 application, $3,294, direct to Brett Applin. We had James McKeon. Guys, listen to this, 19 applications. That is huge. That is probably, you have to go back and look, that's probably one of the biggest app counts we've had in 1 week. And that is awesome to see. And I'm going to highlight that because that is the most important factor, because 19 applications means 19 different people covered. And that's huge. That's what our business is about. Yes, we look at the APV, for our businesses and our growth and our earnings, but that 19 apps, I'm excited to see that. I saw a lot of that was, add-on sales, kids policies, guys. And we don't do enough kids policies. Kids policies, that was huge. Some accidental death benefits. So he provided some great coverage and did so at $3,547 APV. And James is direct to John Paul Venner. So great job, James. Just really hats off. That's amazing. We had Donna Bates, 6 applications, $5,595, direct to Spencer Kuchian. We had Ellis Hubbard, 3 applications, $7,781, direct to Brett Applin. Great job. Jennifer Baker, another name moving up the leaderboards. Ellis and Jennifer, great job, guys. Jennifer had 3 applications, $9,481, direct to Brett Applin. Applin team is really kicking it this week. Great job, guys. Number 1, rider for the week, no stranger to this position, Mr. Spencer Kuchian, 7 applications, $9,849, direct to myself. Great job, Spencer. And just a whisker shy of another 10 grand week. And again, that is not at all uncommon for him. He's one of the top riders in the agency, not only my agency, but the entire company. So hats off. Great week. Guys, couple of quick announcements here before I dive in content for the day. You'll notice some of you have been getting emails here this week from Laurie on the agency hierarchy, master agency level. We're paying close attention to our issue paid numbers and making sure that as we see business sitting there, we're going to reach out to you and, just kind of a quick reminder that it's sitting there. I know we all get running 100 miles an hour and get things going. So it's just kind of a quick friendly reminder that, hey, this business is sitting there, and, check in on that, make sure that those clients are getting protected and that your business is getting approved and you're getting paid. So if you get that, not that we're trying to nag you, but we are trying to nag you. So just be aware of that. We're gonna friendly nudge you and make sure that business gets taken care of. And again, it's important, guys, that we do everything we can to get this business pushed through, take care of those clients, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about.
Chris, do you mind if I just share a little bit on that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I just wanted to chime in, add a little bit of color commentary to that. And we appreciate you and Lori, sending out the notices and obviously staying on top of the overall master agency's business. But folks, it is your responsibility to manage your business. You should know what you have pending, where it's at, follow up with underwriters on a regular basis. On my Outlook calendar, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, first thing in the morning at 8 o'clock, on my Outlook calendar that's a standing recurring notice is to check pending business. And I do it on a regular basis, constantly following up with underwriters, seeing what's there. Because it's great to write it, but if it doesn't get issued paid, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to you, doesn't matter to the customer, the company, your upline, it doesn't matter if it never gets issued. So you cannot write business. I cannot stress this enough. You cannot write an application and throw it up in the air and hope that magically, deliciously, everything's going to be okay with it. You have got to walk that thing through and follow your pending business in your agent portals with each carrier. And if you don't know how to do that, follow up with your upline. They'll show you how to do it. But you should be on top of your business every single day, not just at the end of the month when you're trying to crunch numbers, because that's how you get paid. Manage your cash flow. So I just wanted to add that on there, that folks should take that as one of the number one priorities in their business every day, following up with their own personal business to know where they're at. Chris, sorry about that.
No, and I'm glad you chimed in on that, because that is so important. Again, at the end of the day, guys, it's about getting people covered. Now, if you want to cut down on the amount of time that you have to do that follow-up, here's a tip, guys. Write the instant approval stuff. Americo, great company, in-home approval. John Hancock, great company, in-home approval. Mutual of Omaha, a lot of their products are now moving to in-home approval. And I'm sure off the top of my head, I'm just kind of firing off companies, but we have other companies that
American
have that or are moving that direction.
Yep, American. Yep.
I realize sometimes we have to write what we can write just to get the business through, and that's okay. But guys, there's nothing wrong with specializing with 2 or 3 carriers. In fact, we highly recommend that. Become an expert with a particular carrier, and not only are you going to have you're going to be more knowledgeable in those products, but you're going to be putting business through that's getting approved more consistently, because you know what it takes to get it through, and you're going to know those products forward and backwards. And so that instant approval stuff, guys, that is, can't tell you how much of a time saver that is on the back end on following up, trying to get business approved. Again, I get it. There are going to be times we're going to have to write a product that's still going to have to go through the underwriting process, 3 to 5 days or whatever it takes. But as much as you can, push that to the instant approval. You make your life a whole lot easier. Get your clients approved a lot quicker and get yourself paid a lot quicker. So take advantage of that. Guys, conference on the boat coming up in April. And for those of you who haven't heard yet, we're the day before that the boat disembarks. We're actually doing a little mini conference with the Wayland hierarchy. And the cool thing about this, guys, is number one, they're not charging a dime for it. I mean, you can come to that, show up and basically show up a day early, go to that event. We're not selling any tickets. The Wayland hierarchy is covering the cost on that venue and all the meeting materials, etc. So show up for that event. I realize we have a handful of people who are working part-time in this business. They've got a full-time gig, working 40 hours a week, and they haven't been able to make the jump yet to full-time with Symmetry. If that's you, this is a great opportunity. That meeting is going to be on a Saturday. Guys, if for whatever reason, based on your full-time work schedule, you're not going to be able to make the boat, still come to that meeting. It's on a Saturday. You can fly down to Miami that morning, attend that meeting, fly back, take a red eye back, or stay over and fly back the next morning. But probably most importantly, I think the thing that we really want to emphasize, and again, this is just for people who are part-time in this business, have a full-time gig they can't get away from. Really, guys, make a commitment today to get on the cruise. Get on that cruise. And again, this is, we've been talking a lot about how this is going to be a great opportunity just to be around the leaders, get a chance to interact with them. It's going to be very relaxed. But guys, there's still going to be a lot of very in-depth training. And that's still the point. Even though it's a cruise, it's on a boat, it's a lot of fun. Guys, there's going to be a lot of serious work getting done there. And we tell people all the time, and statistically, this is not us, wishing in the wind. We know the numbers. if you don't get to conference, if you don't get to these training events, within 6 months, 85% of the people who don't attend those meetings are no longer in the business. And the reason being is because of the content and the training that you come out with is crucial to your success in this business. You have to have that material to take it. It doesn't matter if you've been in for a little while and maybe you've been to an event or two. This takes you to the next level. If you're brand new, you can't miss it. You can't miss it because you're not going to succeed in this business without attendance at those events. So that being said, Symmetry is bending over backwards literally to make this happen for everybody. So new payment plans just in the last couple of weeks have rolled out. You can go on the cruise in April and pay for it for the rest of the year. Guys, that's huge. I mean, that those payments are pretty low, and that's very nice. We also just rolled out a program this week, and actually I'm on the list. I haven't got the full details yet, but we have we're having the Symmetry is underwriting a small number of cabins, meaning they are drastically reducing the cost on a handful of those for people who are brand new coming into the business and maybe financially just don't have the funds to cut it. So I've already contacted the home office. They're basically allowing each hierarchy 5 of these cabins, and I've already put my name in and said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and if I have to front the money to buy all 5, I will. And so I put that request in. Guys, what we're looking for is the first priority is wanting to go to agents who have been on board with us less than 90 days and show financial hardship. And so if you meet that criteria, and especially if you can, the financial hardship is really, because these are dramatically reduced in price. So I want to make sure that we're really giving this to the people who, financially it's just going to be hard for you to come up with the money. Reach out to me. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can't find a way. Even if you've got a situation where, maybe you've been around for a while, 6 months, 9 months, and you've been working this part-time, you're trying to figure it out. And financially you haven't grown to the point where you can afford to take on a cabin. Reach out to us. We're working hard with the home office to put together some very creative plans to make sure everybody can get on that cruise, because we know how impactful that training is going to be, guys. And so, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a working vacation, but most importantly, what you're going to walk out of in that event for your future and for your business, it can be measured. The investment in your business, the value that you're going to come out with is just, it can't be measured. So guys, take advantage of that. Reach out to us. If you haven't hit the done button, get that done today, guys. I mean, obviously, trying to sign up for the cruise the week before is going to be a lot more difficult than trying to do it today. We're going to have a lot more flexibility with payment plans and all that stuff like that if the sooner we get on it. So hit the done button. Let's get on that. Guys, what I wanted to share with you this morning, everything that we've been talking about in January is kind of, setting up 2020 for a big year, beginning of the year, goals, etc. But, something we haven't done for a long time, several months anyway, probably since this time last year, honestly, is talk about where you can be by the end of 2020. And specifically focusing on what it takes to become an agency owner. And for those of you who are brand spanking new and you're still learning about the system, agency owner in the Symmetry system is what it says it is. It's owning an agency. And it is true business ownership, meaning once you own your agency, we've had some circumstances where we've had some agency owners who have died. Unfortunately, just a 3 weeks ago, we had a gentleman pass away from cancer. And his family is going to continue receiving the revenue from that agency from now on. Guys, that's huge. I mean, he knew he was battling cancer. They knew that the odds were long, but if you go back and listen to a call he did here a few months ago, um, he was working hard to make sure that his legacy would continue on for his family, and that's something that you can do here, and that's something that's not really available in this industry anywhere else, not to this level, where most companies, when you die, your business dies with you. Not here, guys. This business can continue on in infamy. I mean, it can go to your family, your wife, your kids, your grandkids. I mean, it can be passed down, and that's huge. This is also something, when you become an agency owner, you can retire from this business, guys. You can retire and take a lifetime income in your retirement. I'm not sure why you retire, honestly, though, because once you get it built to the point where you've got a passive income, there's really not any point in retiring. It's not that hard. But anyway, that's a separate conversation. But then also, this is a business, and we just saw this recently. Because it is a business, you can actually sell it. And there was a couple. It's pretty much a done deal now. But I hesitate to announce it because I know that they were closing on the deal here. I think this week. Anyway, once it's official, we'll announce it. But yeah, there's a couple that built a rather large organization that actually sold out to another agency because they had other goals and priorities in life that they wanted to focus on. So I say all that to say, agency ownership is not just a title. Okay, it's not something you can just put on a piece of paper on your email signature. Create a little plaque and hang it on your wall. This is true business ownership. And so, how do we get there? Well, that's what we're going to talk about this morning. We're going to talk about what it takes to become an agency owner. And the cool thing about this, guys, is this is something that can happen in a year, and starting from a dead stop. And so I wanted to walk through that with you so you can understand that process. And it's kind of an eye opener for a lot of people. And think about this, guys. I'm talking about if you're brand new, you can be an agency owner by this time next year. But think about if you've been in this business for a little while, even just a few weeks, a few months, you've already got a head start on this process. So this is realistic for anybody and everybody tuning in on the call today. If you're not an agency owner, we can also talk a little bit about going beyond agency owner, for those of you who are already hit that level. But hang on just a second here. I'm going to do a screen share because we're going to pick up. We're going to go through 2 documents, guys. If you go to sfglife.com or simply sfg.com, there's a document called Levels of Leadership, and there's another document called Promotion Guidelines. I'm going to go ahead and share those with you, but if you want to, and I recommend you do this, that you print this out, hang it up on your wall, hang it up on your desk, wherever you can see it on a daily basis, to make sure that you know what's going on with your business. So let's talk about, can everybody see this? You just give me a thumbs up or something. Make sure that we've got, okay. Guys, a couple things here about getting into agency owner. So here's your AO level right here, agency owner. I'm going to back up a couple things because these are the founding or the foundation blocks of building an agency owner. When you become team leader, minimum of 3 direct sales representatives, including yourself. So you plus 2 other people, you become a team leader. Key leader is yourself plus 3 other writers doing at least $30,000 for 2 consecutive months. And you become a key leader at that. Okay. Again, these are kind of the building blocks, because you see we build up the agency owner. Agency owner, to qualify, you have to have a minimum $50,000 for 3 consecutive months and a minimum of 7 sales representatives. 4 of those have to be direct to you, meaning the 4 of those you personally hired, and then you can have a couple more that maybe your people brought on and they start building their own team. Okay, guys. So to be agency owner, 7 total riders. That can include yourself and should include yourself from a production standpoint, and that's what it takes to quit. Minimum 3 months. Hit those 3 months in a row, you actually get an ownership contract from Symmetry Financial Group. It is a legal binding contract. You will be an agency owner at that point. Okay, so let's flip over to promotion guidelines. And this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you can map out your future in this company. Because when you look at the promotion guidelines, everybody comes in at 60%. That's our entry contract level, okay? So you're a brand new agent, 60%. But the beautiful thing about this system is you can give yourself pay raises. You control your promotions. You're not waiting on somebody else to say, hey, I've noticed what you're doing and I want to reward you. No, you reward you, guys. This is your business. Like we were talking about earlier, managing your business that's written. You can also manage your growth in this system. So all the promotions, you'll notice over here, you have the time frame, annualized premium. That means that's how much is written. That's how much you've actually submitted business written. Minimum promotable premium means that's issue pay. That's another term that we use for issue pay. Meaning of this number that we have written, we need to have at least this much get approved by the carriers and get issued and placed into business. Okay. So what that means, so to go from 60 to 65, you'll notice for 2 consecutive months, you need to write at least 7,500. That's how much you submit. You have to get at least 4,875 of that 7,500 issue paid, meaning that's how much the carriers approve. Now, guys, that is 65% of this number. The minimum promotable premium is 65%. In reality, you know, and we see a lot of times new agents, you know, maybe they're around that 65%, but as an established agent or somebody who's really paying close attention to their business, following up on it and being very diligent, that number should be quite a bit higher. You know, 75 to 85%, I think is ideal. And it's not at all uncommon that we see people 90+% on issue paid. But the minimum, 65% of your submit. So you do that for 2 consecutive months, you move up to 65. That means you get a 5% bump on all your business that you're writing. You'll notice too, you know, each of these levels, 65 to 70, same thing, 2 consecutive months. Now we've raised the bar a little bit. 10,000 is your amount written. And the nice thing about this, guys, what I love about what the company did is these lower levels, they set the bar pretty low. I mean, if you dig in, if you follow the system, there's absolutely no reason why you can't run on your own all the way up to at least 80%, guys. Okay, so 60 to 65 requires 7,500. 65 to 70 requires 10 grand. 70 to 75 requires 15,000. Again, this is in a month for 2 consecutive months, and you'll notice the minimum promotable premium over here. 75 to 80, $25,000. And we see we've got several people that are going to be hitting that number this month. So again, very doable on your own, and a lot of people are doing that. 16.5 of that issue paid, and again for 2 consecutive months. Now, guys, this system, you know, I have a lot of people that I've interviewed over the past years, and they say, well, I can go to another company and I can get 100% contract, or I can even maybe get a 110% contract. And that's true, you can. You can go to other companies and you can get a higher contract. But guys, that's a sales contract. This is an agency contract, meaning as you build, as you move up through the agency, you're earning your raises. But this is also, you'll notice at 85, to qualify for 85, not only are you writing $50,000, but you have to have 7 unique riders, meaning you got to have other people in the fight with you. This is why this system is set up for people who want to own an agency. Okay. And I'll circle back in a second on what I mean by this is an agency contract. Well, let's just focus on this for a second, because another thing that I want to share with you guys, that $50,000 number, can you write it on your own? Yes. I mean, you're going to be an elite producer, and we have a lot of elite producers in this company who do that on a monthly basis. But here's the beautiful thing about team building, guys, and building your own agency. All of these 7 unique writers, everything that they write counts towards your promotion number. Okay, so let's for ease of math, let's say all of these. Let's say you have yourself as a writer, and you have 6 writers. And those 6 riders, let's say they average $5,000 a piece. Well, 6 times $5,000 a piece, that's $30,000. You personally go out and write $20,000 of your business. Right there, you're at $50,000. Even though you only wrote $20,000 personally, the company's going to take that other $30,000 that your other 6 writers wrote. They're going to add that, and they're going to count that towards your promotion number. Okay, so guys, that means you personally, according to the company, you wrote 50,000, even though really only 20,000 of it came off of your pen. So this is another benefit of team building. So even this is why we tell a lot of people, even day one as a new agent, guys, start recruiting, because as a new agent, you have maybe 1 or 2, even just 1 or 2 writers that are in the fray with you. Everything that they're writing at every level is counting towards your promotions. So maybe you're not a rock star writer. Maybe you average $10,000 a month, but you've got a couple other writers on your team with you that are each doing, say, another $5,000 a piece. So collectively, you're doing $20,000 as a team. Guys, you can make it all the way up through 75% on team volume. Okay, so that's how you go step by step through this system. And again, once you get to 85, you've got to have a team. To go to 85 and beyond, you have to have a team involved. Okay, so 7 unique writers. And here's the other thing about this, guys. And this is a lot of times people think, well, okay, we're at $50,000 divided by 7 people. That means that each person is putting in about 7,500 each. Guys, in reality, that's not what teams look like. Even at my level, with about 30 to 35 riders every month, the most of our business, the highest percentage of our business comes from about 6 to 8 riders. We've got a lot of riders that, are part-timers, just getting started in the business, maybe just submitting a little bit every month as they're getting started. The bulk of your business is going to come from a small percentage of people. And at the agency owner level, you need to personally plan to be putting in about a third to a half of the business needed for promotion agency owner. So anywhere from about 15 to 25,000 of that 50,000, I would be planning on writing yourself. Okay, again, very, very doable. Obviously, the 7 unique writers, that's the minimum. Ideally, anytime you're going for promotion, it's always good to be trying to overshoot for that. If you had 9 or 10 writers, that means your average per writer is a lot less that you have to be relying on, and that gives you a lot more margin. You don't have to come up with as much business for yourself. Okay, now let's look at the math here, guys. Brand new agent. Let's look at the timeline. We were talking about how do you become agency owner in a year. So you start out day 1, January 1, 2020, 60%. So 2 months to go to your next promotion. So January, February. Okay. So starting in March, you're starting out at a 65% contract. again, 2 months per promotion. So January, February, 60 to 65. February, March, 65 to 70. What did I say? April to May, we're going to 75. Okay. June, July takes us to 80. July to August takes us to 85. Now, to qualify for agency owner, you have to be at an 85% contract. Meaning, because let me back up just a second here, because the agency owner requirement, you'll notice to get to 85 is 2 consecutive months, but your agency owner qualification is actually 3 consecutive months. So you have to write the $50,000 for 3 months in a row, 7 unique riders, but your qualification for 85% is only 2 months of that, guys. And that can happen on the first 2 months, or it can happen on the back end of the last 2 months. Doesn't really matter the timing. Point being is around November, October, November, just if you were hitting all your promotion guidelines, you could break out as agency owner in November, December. Okay, that's the path that you can take. Now, here's how you make this a lot easier on yourself. I mentioned, if you're recruiting early on, all the business, and it doesn't matter if it's just somebody that's a part-timer and only writes a couple $1,000s in a month, that counts towards your personal promotion, guys. So even at these lower levels, where again the bar set pretty low, you should be able to hit that if you're going out and doing the system, really all the way up through 80. When we get up here from 75 to 80, when it requires somebody to really run a good, solid, full-time schedule, and being consistent in their activity, that still takes a lot of pressure off of you to come up with all that money yourself. That $25,000 to $50,000 by having a team, because team volume counts towards your personal promotion goals. Now you can see beyond that, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time because this call is about becoming an agency owner. But the point is, with this is where this is a contract that's designed for agency building, because you'll notice 85 to 90, 90 to 95, 95 to 100, your number of riders, not only does your business volume goes up. And can you go and write $100,000 a month personally? Yes, you can. It has been done, but that's a lot of advanced market products, and that's somebody that's going out and burning the candle at both ends. However, if you have 15 unique riders and you out doing business, that makes that a lot more attainable. You'll also know not only does the APV requirements get higher, so does the timeline. When we get to 100 and beyond, 3 consecutive months. So that's a little bit beyond, that's advanced. Let's focus on getting the agency owner. So how do we do that? So obviously managing your personal schedule, making sure you're going out and putting your business. Because again, guys, really, you don't even have to be a top producer to get to 75. And beyond 75, yeah, you're starting to get in top and elite producer numbers. But 80, that's still doable on your own pen. But make life easier on yourself and get a team going early. Okay, so how do we get a team going early? When I came into this business, January 2016, I'll never forget, I had a call with Jacob Pogue, who at the time was probably about where I was at now, or maybe actually probably he was at a lower level than where I am right now. But anyway, I had a call with Jacob, and I said, I told him, I was like, I'm here to build a business. Yeah, I want to write business and make money for myself, but I'm here to build a business. Okay. And so he said, okay, well, that's very doable, but we need to start today. Today, meaning January 2016. And he told me, he said, here's how you do this. He said, you need to be recruiting every week. Every week. Don't miss a week. My recommendation, and had I to do it over again, I would start a little bit different, because we were, we have been, always been, and are, and always have been a cold market recruiting team. In other words, we recruit a lot off of job boards. But guys, in hindsight, as I've looked around at several other organizations, the Smith brothers, the Millers, Danny Young, these are some massive organizations that were built on warm market recruiting. That's where they started. They moved eventually to cold market recruiting, but they laid the foundations with warm market, meaning people that they know, people that they wanted to be in business with. I mean, I just got back, guys, last week. Obviously, we were not on the call. Myself, John Paul, Jeremiah. We were in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, as part of a trip that we had earned through the whale and hierarchy. And I've become great friends with John Paul and Jeremiah. I mean, it really, in our friendship continues to grow. It's great to go on trips with them. And that's the cool thing. You want to be in business with people that you like doing business with, and you want to travel with. Well, I've developed friendship with these guys, and found them both through cold market sources. But I also look back and say, what if I also, in the beginning, had brought on some of my warm market, and I was now traveling with those folks as well? I was behind the 8 ball. So for those of you who are, just getting started, still new in this business, be looking around at your circles of influence. People that you've worked with, that you really admired, people that you socialize with. You're like, man, this is a good person, and I want to be in business with them, and I want to travel with them. And introduce them to this. Now, that's not to say, I mean, it's still numbers game. There's still a certain percentage of those people that are going to say, no, it's not for me. I'm not interested. And I've experienced that too. But if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So you got to ask. You got to give them the opportunity to say no. Don't say no for them. Too many people say, well, I'm going to figure this thing out. I'm going to become a rock star success, and then I'm going to bring my friends and family into it. Well, that kind of sucks for them, because you've gone out and you've taken care of yourself. You built your business. And then once you get it, because it's an ego thing. Well, I want to show them that I can do it and I can be successful. Guys, what if they're better at this than you are? You're holding out on them and their opportunity to have their own business. You're also holding yourself back, because if you bring somebody in that's a warm market recruit and they are better than you, again, I go back to the promotion guidelines. Everything that they do helps you. So why would you hurt your business by not bringing somebody in who could be better than you are? And too many times we want to figure it out. We want to be the expert. We want to show people that we can win. And guys, that is a self-esteem problem. That is an issue with your ego. So you don't figure this thing out first. This system is already figured out. And that's the beauty of this. I'm in for a long time now. When I do interviews, I've been talking with people and telling them, this is a franchise system without the franchise tag, cost, fees, overhead, etc. Meaning, the whole pitch or the whole sales point of a franchise is, hey, this is a plug and play package. You come in here, you pay us a fee, and we're going to tell you exactly how to do this. We're going to give you all the tools to do it. Guys, look at this system. Everything's laid out for you from day one, all the way up to 110. It's all laid out for you. All of our materials, all of our training, all of the sales materials that you would ever need from all of the carriers, all the applications, everything is laid out for you. Guys, this is a franchise system without the franchise tag, cost, fees, or overhead. And all you have to do is just look at this promotion guidelines, plug into it, and follow this process. That's it. And be consistent. I wrote that down on my page here. Consistency. I can tell you, and I've said this over and over again, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, I have screwed this thing up more ways than you can count. Honestly. I mean, as a producer, I was not as consistent as I should have been. I have a big week and get lazy the next week. Guys, I've hired people that I wish I hadn't hired. I've done things in this business that have not gone well. But the one thing that I have done right from day one, and when Jacob told me, hey, recruit every week, don't miss a week, and I have done that. And because of that, I sit here today and I'm very honored to be talking with you guys as part of this agency. But that wouldn't have happened if I didn't say day one that I'm just going to do this every week, like Jacob said, and I'm not going to question it. And week after week, when it sucked, when either I wasn't getting people on the phone, either for appointments or when I had people who came in and got on their first weekend of dials and quit, I just said, okay, well, they weren't the right person, so find some more. And I did that every week. And guys, if you want to know what it takes to get to this starting line, and I call the agency owner, this is the starting line. This just gets you a foothold or a toehold in this business so that you can then start growing and duplicating and creating that long-term vision. But if you want to do that, you've got to establish consistency today, day one of the gate. And that's what it takes. So on the recruiting side, talk to your warm market guys, start having those conversations. But go ahead and start doing the cold market recruiting too. Again, we're one of the top teams in the company on cold market recruiting. And again, that just requires consistency. So there's ZipRecruiter, which is where a lot of us do our recruiting. But guys, there's a lot of other platforms out there. You're not required to use ZipRecruiter. You could go place ads on Craigslist, guys, especially if you're limited on budget and maybe you can only afford $15, $20 a week. Guys, that buys you a Craigslist ad. Better than nothing. Get it out there and do it every week. When I started, and we were using Craigslist a lot. I mean, honest with you guys, when we started, it was kind of stone age of this business. I was still writing everything on paper apps and do it with a rock pencil. But we were also recruiting on Craigslist. Now you were talking about one of the most inefficient platforms to recruit off of because it was very passive recruiting. We have to wait for people to call us, but it still works, guys. It works, especially if you do it consistently. So whether it be Craigslist, whether it be ZipRecruiter, whether it be Career Builder, whether it be LinkedIn, pick a platform and do it every week. Be consistent. Do it every week. Have conversations with the people around you. Guys, I can't tell you how many people have been hired off of appointments, clients that you sit in front of. Hat tip to Julia Pappas, one of the best at asking in every home, hey, do you know anybody that want to make an extra $1,000 to $1,500 a week working part-time? She's brought a lot of people in doing that, guys. Asking the clients, people who just bought, who better than somebody that just said, yeah, I believe in your products and I'm going to go ahead and take care of my family. Who better to ask that, hey, you believe in this stuff. Do you know anybody that want to make an extra $1,000 to $1,500 part-time doing this? You'd be surprised the number of people that you just sold that are going to raise their hand and say, yeah, that's me. I want to be part of that. And that's somebody again that is kind of a I wouldn't even call that a cold market recruit because you just spent time in their home, you developed rapport, and you turn that into a warm market recruit. So guys, take advantage of that. So you'll notice again, you can map this out as we come to a close today, guys. These two documents, the promotion guideline, the level of leadership, print these out, look at your year, and say, okay, I'm going to hit this, and I'm going to hit this promotion over the next couple months. And I'm going to hit this promotion over the next couple months. I'm going to hit this promotion, get with your upline, put your action plan together. Don't just say, well, this is my goal, and don't have any way to get there. We'll help you put the goal together. I can tell you exactly how many appointments it's going to take to write $15,000 in a month. How many calls you need to make, how many appointments you need to set, how many applications you need to write. We can do that. We can do that at the $25,000 level. Okay? All the way through here, guys, it's a beautiful thing about this system. The numbers are consistent. We can walk you through this process. So print these documents out, make your commitment to make it happen this year. Get with your upline, get with myself, or get with one of the agency owners. Let us put a game plan together. Okay, January, February, here's what we're going to do to get to this next level. March, April, here's what we're going to do to take it to the next level. May, June, and on through the year. And then at the end of the day, it's just going out and executing, guys. We got the plan, we've got the process. Just at the end of the day, it's going out and executing.
Chris, can I add a little bit of color commentary on there, if you don't mind?
Yep, absolutely.
On the you'll scroll down on that screen you got right there. No, the other way. I'm sorry. To the top. I apologize.
Yep.
Folks, if you look at the promotion guidelines, one thing that's a specific point of clarity that we want to make sure that sometimes folks don't necessarily understand, and it's a little bit of a nuance, but it's easy to manage if you understand this. When you talk about submitted or written business, that's based on Symmetry's month, which always ends on the last Friday of the month. When you look at issue paid numbers, those are from the carriers, and those are on the calendar month from the carriers. So in other words, if you write something and turn it in on Friday that happens to be the 27th, and that's the last day of our submit month for Symmetry, that will count for this month in the written. If it issues out on Monday or Tuesday and it's the 30th or the 31st, that's still that same month. If it happens to be a situation like this month, you look at the calendar where next week on the calendar, the last day of the month happens to be the same day as the calendar month, that's an anomaly and doesn't usually happen that way. But there are times when you write business and it's issued on the last Friday of the month, you still can manage that business and get it issue paid in the first couple of days of the following week, which is still the calendar month for the carrier. And I'll tell you a huge way that can benefit you. If you're managing your business and you're on top of how much is being issue paid, and you find yourself up against a promotion and you're a little short, you've hit the written number, but you're a little short on the issue paid, go out and write some stuff that's a John Hancock or a Mutual of Omaha or American Amicable that will actually issue that day. And although your submit number would be for Symmetry in the next month, that will show up on the books for the carriers for issue paid in that month. And that can mean the difference between you making your promotion or not. So you've got to be smart in understanding the nuances of these and how these things work, and work with your upline or your agency owners to make sure you have a good game plan and understand that, to play and leverage that for your success. Does that make sense? I just wanted to add that, Chris.
No, that's great. That's an important point. And that's also, something you mentioned there just reminded me, as part of this process, guys, again, we've got the track and the path laid out, but, as you're getting up here, when we're starting to talk about AO numbers, this is where this system is very valuable to you in getting your goals, because we're going to be working with you one-on-one, your upline, because they've been there, they've done that. And so that's the beauty of this system, is you're working with somebody who's ran the same path that you're on, and knows some of those pitfalls, knows some of those things to look for. So this is why, again, what I love about this system, yes, there's a lot of personal achievement, there's a lot of personal wins, but it's very heavily dependent on the team, both below you and above you. We're all running together, to win this race, and we have to run together. You can't be, Johnny Rambo here and take off and run this thing on your own. You can up to 80, and a lot of people have done that, but when you 85 and beyond, this is a requirement. Those unique riders, you're going to have a team. You're not going to go past this. And that's kind of to kind of close and circle in. That's why this is a sales contract. Because if you go to another company at 100, 105, 110, yeah, you're going to be earning more money on your personal sales, but there's no margin for team building, guys. And that's why this is set up the way it is. Because just get a little quick math here. You're bringing on a new agent at 60%. Let's say you're at 70%. You've given yourself some raises by going out and writing business. Guys, this is where the agency, this is where the overrides come in. You're getting the difference between your contract level, 70%, and their contract level, 60%. So you're getting that 10% spread. Okay, so that's where the team building part comes in. And that's where you create that agency and that passive income. Okay, so if you get somebody that goes out and issue pays $10,000 and you've got a 10% override, you've got $1,000 in override off of that production. Okay, so again, we start everybody at 60%. We set the bar low so people can give themselves raises, but we also load this promotion guideline up where at some point, you can't go to the top on your own. You have to be part of a bigger army than yourself. And that's the beautiful thing about it, guys. I mean, that forces you to start thinking about others and what you can do to help them to become successful, because their success helps your success. So you've heard the phrase before, and I love it, and we use it all the time. You're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. And that's what this system is. Hey, guys, hopefully this was very helpful for you in kind of seeing this in picture form and understanding what it takes to win. What it's going to take to get where you want to go in this business. And guys, again, print these out, sfglife.com or simply sfg.com. Go look these up, print them out, map out your year. Okay, I'm going to go from 60 to 65. I'm going to go from 70 to 75. Guys, if you're already, say you've been in a few weeks, a few months, and you've already hit 2 or 3 of these promotions, great news. Realistically, say you're at 75, 6 months or less, you could be looking at an AO position. It's very doable. There's certain things that got to happen. There's some planning, some mapping, and some things that we've got to put in place to make sure that we also have those 7 unique riders. Guys, very, very doable. You're talking about 4 months worth of promotions that you've got to hit, plus an extra month for the AO qualification. So, okay. So guys, reach out to your upline. If this is your desire, if this is what brought you to this business, is owning your own agency, get with them. Let's put this plan in place. Let's put the action steps in place. Again, all these numbers can be mapped out down to the activity level. How many calls it's going to take to get where you want to go. All right, guys, appreciate each and every one of you being on. Do reach out to us about the cruise. We want to get as many people on that boat, guys. Actually, let me wrapping up the call, but that reminded me. That's the other thing. If you want to be here at Agency Owner, this doesn't happen if you're not on the boat, and this doesn't happen if you don't have people on the boat. Bottom line, doesn't happen. There's nobody in leadership who has missed a conference and didn't have people there. That just doesn't happen. So if your goal is to become an agency owner, and you say, well, I'll catch the next conference, guys, pack it in, fold it up right now. That's not happening. Okay? You cannot be an agency owner if you're not going to conference and you're not bringing people with you to conference. 10 people at conference equals that $50,000. And that's statistics, guys. That's not just wishful thinking. That's just not us, throwing some math in here. That's the number we came up with. No, the company looked at the numbers. They've analyzed the numbers over and over again. They go back and they check those numbers from time to time. And it is proven over and over and over and over and over again. If you want to be running a $50,000 a month agency, you have to have a minimum of 10 people at conference with you. Okay. So if that's your goal to get to this level and you want to do it this year, the vote in April is not an option. It's an obligation. You have to be there. And don't think you're going to get around it and still make it happen, because I guarantee you it won't happen. Okay. All right, guys, that's the message for this morning. Thank you all for being on. Awesome week. One more week of January, guys. Finish out strong. That's what makes this happen right here. These promotions, especially when we have these 5 weeks, guys, take advantage of that. Even if you're running behind for the month, great news. You got an extra week to pile business in. That's huge. Take advantage of that. All right. February, obviously going to be a short month, so let's make sure we get this month checked off so we can have plenty of room to run in February and knock that one down. All right, guys, thanks. Let's jump on the phones and get a big week set up next week, and excited to see you all again next week. Have a great day.